12:01. I'm going to call the Committee on Government Operations to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Kniezek.
Here.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Here.
Commissioner Basham.
Here.
Commissioner Killeen.
Right here.
Chair Dobb.
Here.
Present.
Thank you. Next item.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Next item, please.
C, approval of the August 24th, 2021 meeting minutes.
Move approval, Madam Chair.
Support.
We have a motion for approval and support. Is there any discussion regarding the minutes? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wishing to abstain? Motion passes. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of retroactive amendment to a fleeting business opportunity contract with a 1-year option to renew with Scanning America.
All right. I do see that we have a question from Commissioner Basham. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Could someone just speak to why it's retroactive?
Yes, through the chair, this is Aaron Wagner, Procurement Director. When we went to process this amendment initially, we found out a couple things. One, the insurance had lapsed, and two, that the FEP certificate for the organization had expired. And so we have halted work with the Scanning America. So no additional work has been done. So we haven't incurred any additional costs once we realized that there was retroactivity to this.
And I guess if I may, Madam Chair, as I'm reading, it says the communication dated May 21, 21, received August 23. And it's like, so last I looked, this is September, the 9th. Anyway, it's like, it just seems like that, the retroactives are creeping back up. And so I understand the need to have these services, but obviously, I'm going to say someone's retroactive. Enough said.
Are you all set, Commissioner Basham?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Killeen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I hope someone from the clerk's office is on here. I'm wondering how much of our records, if you have it by percentage, have been digitalized. Yes. Yeah, have been digitalized now. And I was thinking of this the other morning. I was coming in and on the news, I caught the story in the middle, but they're talking about a county who had a fire in their vital records in their clerk's office. I found out later, I think it was Genesee County, but my first thought was, boy, I hope they have everything digitalized. Where are we at in terms of digitalizing the court records?
Through the chair, this is Aaron Wagner again. Commissioner Killeen, I know that all of the probate court records have been completed and that we were working on moving towards the 3rd district court when the work was halted.
There's nobody from the clerk's office on here?
Is anyone in attendance who can answer Commissioner Killeen's question? Besides Aaron Wagner.
Huh. Well, somehow, some way, I'd like to get an update from the clerk's office How long are we going to keep scanning? Where are we? It's imperative that we get everything digitalized as soon as possible. So I just don't know if this total of 3 million not to exceed does the trick. Are we going to be looking at it longer? This only goes to December 31st of this year. So where are we at? Are we going to have to do another, if we have another amendment possible under this contract, or we got to do a new contract? Oh, boy. Okay, nobody from the clerk's office.
I see Mary Carr has her hand up. Mary, do you have some
Yes,
information?
Chair. I just called Dwayne. He's going to get online
Okay,
to answer Commissioner Clean's questions. So if you can give him a few minutes.
sure.
All right, thank you.
Any other commissioner questions or discussion on this item? If not, what is the desire of the committee for this item? Do we want to move on to item number 2 while we wait for Dwayne?
I'm ready to move forward, Madam Chair. I'll move this for approval, but I still want to know what's behind this and where we're at. And we can catch that up later.
All right, so we have a motion for approval from Commissioner Colleen. Do I have support? Support by Commissioner Clark Coleman. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Call from
Commissioner Kanizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner, what'd you say?
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Reluctant, yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Chair Dobb,
Yes. Motion passes. Next item, please.
Item 2, requesting commission approval 5-year vision services contract with Heritage Vision Plans.
All right, is there anyone here to speak on this item?
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Claire Mason Lee. I'm here in the capacity of Director of Benefits and Disability Administration. I also have a representative from Heritage Vision. Mr. Lenny Barnes is also on the line if you have any specific questions for us. But this contract is for the Heritage Vision plans that are offered to our county employees and retirees that are eligible for the plan. And this is a renewal of their contract, or a new contract actually, excuse me, after a RFP was done in search of a new service for the county, and they were the successful bidder for the contract. And this is the result of that RFP response. And we are seeking approval to have the new contract put in place effective October 1st.
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval.
Support.
And support. I just have one quick question. Were there any changes in this contract from last year's contract? Any significant changes?
So the most significant change is not necessarily to the contract per se, but to the services that are offered to the employees. And in the past, we only had one plan option for employees for their vision services. But now Heritage Vision offers the base plan, which is still 100% paid for by the county. But there is a buy-up plan that they also now offer for an additional amount for employees if they'd like enhanced services for their vision care. In addition, previously, Blue Cross Blue Shield carried part of the coverage for vision exams. That is now part of the Heritage plan that's offered. So in regards to the contract per se, not a lot of changes, but we did enhance the plan offerings to our employees.
Okay, so we still have the same plan as last year, but in addition, we have an enhanced plan.
That's correct. So the basic plan is still the same and available with the vision exam included. And then, but that is still 100% paid for by the county. But if an employee would like to have enhanced coverage, maybe they need to get more than, they need to get hardware more than one time a year. They can purchase the enhanced plan for a nominal amount.
Great. Do we have any other commissioner questions or discussion on this item?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I don't have a question on this one, but would you ask Claire to stay on just 1 second after we vote on this?
Sure. Ms. Mason Lee, is that all right?
Yes, I would be pleased to. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, so we have a motion for approval from Commissioner Clark-Coleman and support by Commissioner Colleen. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark-Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
All right,
Chair Dobb,
Yes. Motion passes. And I see a comment from Mary that Dwayne Seals has joined us, but first, Commissioner Clark-Coleman, did you have a question for Ms. Lee?
Very quickly, we talked at one time about TASC. Will they remain as our vendor this year, Claire?
Good afternoon again, commissioners. Commissioner Clark-Coleman, thank you for the question. So TASC is the subcontractor of Amwins. Amwins was our contractor for the HRA, for the stipend recipients.
Right.
But you may have been provided that information very recently after an arbitration settlement that the settlement requires that we are going to move the HRA administration to MERS. And so TASC will no longer be servicing as that subcontractor for the HRA administration. We just received a notification from the Third Circuit Court just this week that that arbitration settlement agreement has been approved. So we're just going to be starting to send out notices within the next week to all of the recipients. So you'll get something in the mail very shortly. We just got that confirmation from Third Circuit Court that that arbitration decision was approved.
Okay, so you won't be, it'll be another vendor other than TASC.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. It will be MERS, MERS, and MERS. Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Is that the state MERS?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay. Well,
And
hopefully,
I'm sorry, please go ahead.
hopefully they'll do a better job.
We believe so. They already handle the retirement, one of the retirement funds that we have. So they're already on board with the county and they have been doing a phenomenal job in that aspect. So and they can do everything that TASC was doing. And so we do look forward to working with them on this piece as well.
Okay, suppose you have already, well, I'll talk to you offline on that one.
Oh, yes, please do. You have my telephone number and my email. Please call me at any time.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Okay,
Are you all set? Commissioner Clark-Coleman?
yeah, I'm done.
Okay. And now we have Dwayne Seals, I believe is on the line. Mr. Seals, we had Commissioner Colleen had a question regarding item number 1. Commissioner Colleen, do you want to repeat your question real quick?
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for joining us, Mr. Seals. I was inquiring as to how much has been digitalized in the Big Leotti. You know, are we halfway through? You know, how much document? Because I also note that this amendment 2 that we're considering today only goes through December 31st of this year. So I was just wondering how much more we have to go, and are we going to be extending or going out for a new contract when this expires December 31st of this year?
Sure. To the chair, Commissioner Clean, that contract was something that was handled by Deputy CEO Kaufman. He was working with the courts. The clerk was actually just in as the custodian of the records. So we're more of just watching and making sure that we do where the records were going. Now, I have heard a few times where they had something like 20,000 boxes done. Obviously there's thousands of boxes that need to be shredded up. Last I heard, again, I could look into it and get back with you, but I think they were going to have to extend that contract longer or get another contract after December. It was not going to be enough to have them completely done at that time.
Yeah, if you could come up with some sort of number, like we're 30% done or we're 60%
Sure.
done, because, and I'm sure the clerk wants to get everything digitalized ASAP as well. So, okay.
I will send that answer to the chair and then as well as yourself.
Very good.
That's
I
okay?
would appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure. Mr. Steeles, would it be possible for you to join us for full board next week and have that answer?
Sure, I will
Okay.
definitely.
All right, great. Yeah, if we could have, because 20,000 boxes done out of how many, and maybe a percentage completed.
Okay, I will give that to you.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, so now moving back to the agenda, Madam Clerk. Next item, please.
Item 3 on the agenda, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 2-year comparable source agreement with the 1-year option to renew with Blue Water Technologies Group.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? This is for improvement on the audiovisual technology in the commission chambers.
Sure. This is Hector Roman from Department of Information Technology. Actually, this is for the support and maintenance of audio video equipment within the Guardian building, including the commission chambers.
Okay, so where are we at with all of that? Has everything been installed and this is just for maintenance?
That's a separate project. We're working with Tim Johnson on doing some upgrades in the commission chambers to integrate Zoom and also to have a new voting system installed. That is separate than this contract. This contract is really for support and maintenance of existing equipment within the Guardian building.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any other commissioner questions or discussion on this item?
I'll move
Can I get a
approval
motion?
of this item, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I have a motion by Commissioner Clean
Support.
and support by Commissioner Basham. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Madam Chair.
Oh, yes, Commissioner Anderson, welcome.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to ask what type of maintenance is being required while we haven't used this equipment since over a year ago?
But some conference rooms are still in use. And prior to the pandemic, they did do quarterly maintenance at all the conference rooms within the building, and they're still continuing to do that. And that they've been to the commission chamber a few times working with Tim on trying to integrate Zoom prior to the upgrades. And so they are still doing some work that's still needed and for conference rooms still in use.
Okay, what conference rooms would those be? Because, and is this separate from the commission contract? Are we on a different contract than the administration?
No, this is the same. This contract encompasses all the conference rooms within the building and the commission chambers. There is a separate contract for work that's specifically going to be done in the commission chambers.
Okay, I just wasn't aware of any conference rooms that were beyond the 7th floor that we had access to or responsible for.
Well, every department has their own conference room. Like personnel, they have a couple of conference rooms on their floors. Department of Technology has conference rooms on our floors. So this support and maintenance covers all of those rooms.
Okay, you've verified each one that it's necessary necessary expense, I assume.
Prior to the pandemic, yes, those conference rooms were heavily used.
Right.
And as staff starting to come back, we are seeing more usage of those conference rooms again.
Okay, but we're seeing that, am I correct that they weren't used last year at all? After the pandemic declaration?
Very rarely, but there were some people still using them, even if, there are 1 or 2 people in a big conference room. But there were still some in use because we actually had to contact Blue Water because a projector wasn't working properly or some other technical reasons.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Kanazik,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Chair Dobb,
Yes. Motion passes. Next item.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of Amendment 2 to a 3-year comparable source contract with 1 2-year option to renew with Secure 24.
All right, I do have a question on this item regarding the contract being a 3-year contract. Hoping we don't need it for 3 years, but what happens if we don't need to use PeopleSoft anymore for 3 years? Do we have the option to end this contract before it expires?
The chair, this is Cheryl Reuter from Department of Information Technology. Was not the contract manager that was working on this, but to my knowledge, I believe that we do have the option. That's why it is 3 years with the possible of the 2-year extension.
Okay, so if we get our new ERP system up and running before 3 years, then we have the option to end the contract with Secure 24. Is that correct?
I believe we do, but I will check with NevMel Basic to just confirm that.
Okay, if we could have the answer for our full board next week.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Commissioner Colleen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was thinking along similar lines there that, whatever the timeline is for the new accounting system and everything, can they still be the host for the new system? And that also goes along with item 5, where it's kind of the same thing. In that case, they reference JD Edwards. In items 4 and 5, can they still continue to be the host to host our whatever accounting software going into the future? Let's say we get the new system in 2 years. And one's a 3-year and one's a 5-year, I believe. Can they still act as the host for the new system?
I believe so. That is where our backup systems are at Secure 24. So I would imagine they would, but I can find out for sure.
Yeah, and I think the chair asked, at full board. So if we can confirm that at full board, I think that will that'll go a long way.
Yes.
Everybody understanding. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you. And then, Mr. Roman, are you still with us? Just wondering if you had any information regarding those questions.
I do have information as far as Mr. Colleen's question, as far as can Secure 24 be the host? No, they will not be the host with the new ERP system. The new system will be cloud-based. So that's one less thing we would have to worry about is maintenance of hardware. So the new ERP system will actually be hosted in Oracle's data centers.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Can our staff that worked on this confirm that we do, which we always do in our contracts, have the out clause so that with 90 days or 30 days notice, when the new system goes into the cloud, we can jettison these contracts. Are those clauses in both of these contracts?
Commissioner Colleen, this is Chris Albrecht, Policy Analyst for the Wayne County Commission. Typically, those clauses are in contracts like this. However, I will relatively as soon as I can after this meeting, look at these contracts and get back to you on that. I would presume that they would have those out clauses, but I will look into the agreements, find those sections, and I will get that information to you. And should I get that information to the rest of the committee too?
Yeah, I'll share it with, other folks, or if you want to send it to committee members since they've heard the question.
Okay.
But I live in the don't take anything for granted world.
Okay, will do.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you. To that point, I did want to ask Chris, if you could specify what you, or show us what you find on the out clause, what we're responsible for. If it's a clean break, no additional charges, if it's something that is going to cost us a chunk of money to get out of that contract if we decide to. So I'd appreciate as much detail as you can dig up on that. And item, I believe, we're on number 4 and number 5, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, both of those, I just wanted to ask a general question. These are both appear to be as a result of the failure of Cherry Road. Is that correct? To be able to come through on their contract, what they were supposed to do? And that impacted the ERP system coming online when it was projected to?
Hi, this is Hector Roman, Department of Basic Technology again. Yes.
Okay.
Part of the timeline was to go live with the personnel portion, and we wouldn't have had to renew the PeopleSoft contract if not for the delays.
And also JD Edwards, correct?
That I can't speak to. We would have some answers to you by the full board.
Okay, and I know this is not really your bailiwick as to the cost to us to get out of that contract with Cherry Road. What it's going to cost us, where the money's coming from, and what it's going to cost us to make up for what we've lost the time-wise in what Cherry Road was supposed to do. So if we could get that estimate to it full board, so we'll know where the money's coming from too.
The chair, this is Cheryl Reuter again. I did send a message to Nev Melbasic, who's over this, and asked her if she could join, and she is going to try to join.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay.
That's all I have, Madam Chair. I just was trying to get to the bottom of what it's going to cost us and what it has cost us already. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, can I get a motion?
Move approval.
Okay, do we want to take these two items together, 4 and 5?
Sure, why not? I'll move approval on item 4 and 5.
Support.
And so we have a motion for approval and support. Any last questions or comments on items 4 and 5? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Kanizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Chair Dobb? Yes. Motion passes. Great. Next item, please.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Okay, we do have one. Andy Candrivas is going to speak to us regarding a matter with the Wayne County Transit Authority. Mr. Candrivas?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the first communication I'm having I plan on calling staff, Chris Albrecht, later today about this, but we, I'm bringing this up now because I'm going to ask the chair to put it under new business for full board, and I just wanted to have this discussion. I assume that GovOps would have been the location of the meeting, the subcommittee, the committee, if you will, for Wayne County Transit Authority appointments. The Wayne County Transit Authority was created by the commission through ordinance, and basically their function is to apply the millage for the smart bus system. There are members that have passed away, unfortunately. The commission basically accepts the recommendations for 5 of the 9 seats. 3 are from the Conference of Western Wayne and 2 are from the Downriver Community Conference. In the DCC communities, there has been the passing of the Wyandotte Mayor, Joe Peterson, unfortunately. He was an appointment to that board by the DCC. The DCC has, at their last week's meeting, taken action to appoint Steve Rizeppa, who's mayor of Trenton, and also appoint Mayor Bowdler of River Rouge as an alternate. So I have those resolutions that I'll be submitting to commission today. And also from the Conference of Western Wayne, they also had a change in their selections, and we will hopefully, with commission approval, we will be adding Mayor Wolcott of Plymouth, who has been requested by the Conference of Western Wayne. So I just want to make the committee members aware of that. That's something I'm going to have a conversation with the chairwoman about.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kandarios. Do we have any questions from commissioners regarding this issue, this item? Okay, hearing none. Did you see a message from Joe Slezak that Nev Malbasic is on? So let's go back to items 4 and 5. And I believe that was for Commissioner Anderson's questions. Commissioner Anderson, are you still with us? Will you please ask your question again?
I was just asking how this, I think we determined already that it's directly related to Cherry Roads, the failures of the people in that contract or the company in that contract. But I'm trying to find out what it's going to cost us to replace the work that they were supposed to be doing, and how much we've lost and how much is projected that we're going to lose down the road, such as these 2 contracts, having to approve these extensions on these 2 contracts to cover for the failures with the other contractor.
Thank you. Nev, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Hi, my name is Nev Malbasic. I am so sorry. I do not have an answer to that question at the moment, but I will provide that information to the committee as requested.
Okay, thank you.
I would ask, Madam Chair, that maybe the whole commission gets there, at least everyone that was at this meeting, including myself. I'd like to, before we have the full board meeting for approval.
Okay, yes, is that possible, Nev?
Yes, I mean, what would be the next scheduled time for this information to be presented?
Could you email the answer to me, and I will get it out to everyone in the committee and to Commissioner Anderson. I'll get it to all commissioners before.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner Anderson, are you all set?
All set. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Public comments.
Do we have any emails?
No, we have not received any.
Okay. Will you please unmute all lines?
Lines have been unmuted.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to make a comment at this time? You can just go ahead and speak.
Madam Chair, this is Lenny Barnes, representing Heritage Vision Plans. And
hello.
To just take the thank the entire board through the process for renewing the Heritage contract, and we look forward to continuing continuing the relationship. And also thanks to Claire Mason Lee for all of her assistance through this process. And those are my only comments.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to make a comment? All right, hearing none. Next item, please.
Adjournment.
So moved.
We have a motion and support. All those in favor of adjournment, please. say
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
You too.
Thank you, Madam Chair.